herb knife to get on this herb mic. You know I'm alert, right? You know that it ain't nothing to serve, right? And I'll be killing tracks to the...
Well, I got to tell you guys, the December 23rd episode of Smackdown, December 23rd, 2022 episode of Smackdown, one of the stupidest episodes of Smackdown ever produced. Gotta be. It's gotta be. I don't commit much wrestling to memory, but this is the dumbest one in recent memory. Let's go through the show. I don't think there was anything in terms of news and notes worth discussing. People still mad at Lacey Evans, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So Roman and the Bloodline come out there. Heyman sets out the next phase of the Bloodline about the Usos and their match against Hit Row, and Solo Sikoa and his match with Sheamus. And of course, next week, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn against John Cena and Kevin Owens. At that point, Roman takes over, talks about how he made multiple millions of dollars whipping on John Cena and Kevin Owens, and that's what he does. But what will Sami Zayn do? He's looking a little bit different over there. And he said he's looking a little flustered. So he wanted to hear what the honorary Uso intended to do. So Sami Zayn got on the microphone, explained that he should be excited. It's the holiday season. He's finally found peace, a family. He's finally found some respect. But the black cloud is dangling over his head. The black cloud is Kevin Owens. And as long as Kevin Owens is attached to his name, he's never going to feel complete. So he says that he's got to destroy Kevin Owens. He's going to destroy John Cena, rip them apart, and make them acknowledge his tribal chief. Then afterwards, Roman and Sami Zayn hug. And it's a nice moment. It's a really sweet moment. Roman is mouthing basically that he's taken Sami Zayn. He owns Sami now. And I see there's some rumors. There's a rumor. You know, it's not worth really digging too much into. It's just a rumor that perhaps the turn is finally going to happen next week, and that we're finally going to see the end of the honorary Uso angle. I think that would be a little premature. You know, it would be a good way to end the year. And I'm guessing they're looking to end the year pretty strong with something big going into 2023. Having Sami Zayn finally get booted out of the Bloodline, that would be big. Then they would have, 3 or 4 weeks before the Royal Rumble finally happens. I think it's too soon though. I think we drag this thing on a little bit, and unless they're going to write Sami Zayn off, I don't see, next week being the right time to boot Sami Zayn out. I'm not so sure we do it that soon, but anything's possible. I am very excited for Solo Sikoa versus Sheamus though. That's going to be hot. I didn't really care too much about Hit Row versus the Usos because I don't like Hit Row, but I do like a member of Hit Row. I've always been a supporter of Ashanti Theodonis. I was a fan of him when he had, I forget what his other name was on NXT. Was glad to see him get the nod to Hit Row. He actually showed out in this match. He actually looked pretty good. He's a bit of a smaller guy, but other than that, I think he did really good in this match. They sold the whole top dollar knee injury thing. It was nothing. The Usos, of course, win with the 1D. Top Dollar is the one who took the pinfall, which was hilarious because you would think the smaller guy would take the pin, but nope. It was Top Dollar. Who hotter than Top Dollar? The Usos, apparently. All right. Enough of that bullet head bastard. Moving on to Imperium. Uvid Kaiser says that the Miracle on 34th Street fight is an abomination and a mockery of their business. They're going to restore honor to the sacred sport. And Giovanni Vinci said that Ricochet and Braun Strowman were not in their league. Ricochet got on the microphone, which is always, it's a gamble at best. It's like hitting the lottery anyway. And nobody's ever hit yet. So Ricochet says that Imperium is all talk, that all they do is ride Gunther's coattails, and Imperium did call them clowns earlier, essentially a gymnast and a strongman that they should be in a circus. So Braun said, let's show them who rules the big top. And I was like, oh boy, oh no. And this match was infinitely worse than I thought it would be. You got Ludwig Kaiser. He's coming out looking like a very serious pro wrestler. I mean, this guy is shredded. Giovanni Vinci used to be shredded. He's still okay, still in good shape. But these guys look like they're really out there to engage in an athletic contest. And what we get is ballerina in a box. That's what we got. Random ballerina inside of a box. Then we got New Day. New Day was in a big box. They're wearing the NXT championships. And they step out of a box. And Michael Cole is yelling about them being dressed like soldiers. With anybody with any culture whatsoever knew they were dressed like nutcrackers from the Nutcracker Suite. And then they kicked Imperium in the balls for no reason. Just kicked him in the balls. Then they saluted Braun Strowman, and I pretty much punched out. After the ballerina came out of the box, I was like, you know what? I like silly stuff in wrestling sometimes, but there has to be a limit to things. You know, there got to be a limit. We can't go too far over where everything looks fucking dumb. This was horseshit, brother. You know, like this was just flat out horse dookie. Why are we doing this? In any event, oh boy, they broke out the mistletoe so that Ricochet and Samantha could kiss. It was nice. And then, of course, Imperium lose, which of course they were going to lose. This was the main event of the show. I expect the ratings to hit the toilet. But then again, it's the holiday season. These holiday episodes of WWE, they don't care. Like, once they start making, like, Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff and New Year's, once they stop making those shows important, I mean, like, important in terms of these are not the big shows, like, historically speaking, holiday episodes of a wrestling show would be where you do your big angle, you know? But they're not doing that now. It's like these guys should go home to their families and, you know, it should be fun, family-friendly entertainment. And instead of shooting the hot angle, like, you know, hey, I think the Von Erichs, the big turn that created the Von Erichs and the Freebird feud, I think that was shot on Christmas, if I remember correctly. You know, like, for Christ's sake, you know, that started a years-long blood feud, and it was shot on a Christmas. You know, this year we get ballerinas and New Day dressed like nutcrackers wearing the NXT titles. Jesus Christ, this business used to be serious. It used to be a little bit more serious of a business here. Look, you can do comedy, but it has to actually be funny, for fuck's sake, you know? What good is comedy that's not funny? What good is comedy if it doesn't land? Like, I didn't get this. This was stupid. Let's move on. I'm giving it too much time. But at least we got it out of the way. All right. Second match, gauntlet match for the number one contenders for the women's championship. It was won by Raquel Gonzalez. Xia Li defeated Emma and Tegan Nox. Okay. All right. Xia Li, she is starting to learn how to pull those kicks. But in pulling those kicks, she made them look like shit because she made zero contact and in some ways was nowhere near Tegan Nox when she threw the finishing kick. I mean, she whiffed that boy by a football field at some point. I was like, okay, I guess they don't want her kicking people's heads off. That was sort of the knock against her, that she was kind of brutal with the kicks. But it's an important part of her offense because she's a martial artist. She just wasn't really good at working it. Now she's still not good at working it. She's now swung in the other direction where her fucking kicks don't make contact. Emma losing wasn't a big deal. Tegan Nox losing was a kind of a surprise, but also not a big deal. Raquel Rodriguez would defeat Xia Li. that was fine. Raquel and Liv Morgan had a bit of a lengthy match between the two of them. With this would probably be the longest stretch of the match because they don't want to really kind of devalue Liv Morgan, but they also want to boost Raquel Rodriguez. So Raquel had already had a match and she had the injured arm, and they didn't want to just have Liv Morgan lose to the girl with one arm. So they had the match. It was pretty lengthy with Liv Morgan putting her in the rings of Saturn and, targeting the arm and everything. It really made Liv come across as kind of strong before she lost. So she got pinned. Then Sonya Deville came in. She, of course, violently attacked the arm. It didn't last long, though, before Sonya Deville got pinned. So Ronda Rousey comes out there and, as usual, a promo with zero passion, zero even... It just comes across like somebody's got her at gunpoint. Without the shaking and the crying that would come with gun. I think she'd have more passion. She would care more if somebody had a gun to her head. She said that Raquel wasn't done, and there was one more left, and that one more was Shayna Baszler. So Shayna Baszler, she did what she do. She came in there and attacked the arm, stomped it and everything. And she started posing to the crowd with the arm brace, and she got rolled up by Raquel Rodriguez and pinned. So even though she was unofficial, she still got pinned. So she's catching stray bullets all over the place. Next week, Raquel and Ronda will wrestle for the championship. I think it's time to pull the trigger, bruh. I think it's time to put the belt on Raquel. Let's do it. Why not? This division needs to be shaken up. This division needs a fucking overhaul. It needs Botox, a butt lift. It needs liposuction. It needs everything. This division is damn near a corpse. It needs more surgery than Ric Flair or Cher to even look human at this point. It's that bad. This division is awful. It is the worst division in pro wrestling, probably. I think that maybe NWA has a better women's division than WWE SmackDown. Raw is fine. Raw is just the usage of talent. SmackDown is a dearth of talent, especially talent that's over and interesting. A dearth of characters and character work and character building. It's all just so embarrassing. The SmackDown women's division is absolutely embarrassing. And the first thing you could do is not keep the belt on Ronda. That's the first thing we can do. Is we could put the belt on Raquel. And we need to do something different. We need to load up this division. There needs to be people on it. Okay? We need more people. I get that the whole Fox deal was all about there was going to be Roman and there was going to be Sasha. There was going to be your top two, and then I think it ended up being Roman and Charlotte. Because Sasha Banks, does what she does. And now Charlotte's out too. So now you got two of the four horsewomen on Raw, no horsewomen at all on SmackDown, no Naomi on SmackDown, Natalia's missing, she sucks anyway, Tamina's on Raw, Lacey Evans is being rebooted more than a fucking old ass laptop. We don't have anything going on Raw, on SmackDown. Everybody that has debuted, they had what, 2 or 3 debuts? They've all just dissolved in water. Tegan Nox is a jobber. Emma is a jobber. And, it is what it is. They're basically there to fill the roster. But they need people who can work angles. They're trying to work an angle with Emma. We'll get to it in a moment. But Tegan Nox, they're not even attempting to work an angle with her. Just not really even trying. I'm guessing she has a thing with Xia Li. I'm guessing that's going to be a thing. We'll see, though. We'll see how that turns out. All right, so hopefully Raquel Rodriguez wins that title next week. If she doesn't win, I don't know what the hell we do with Ronda Rousey, because I'm at the end of my fucking rope. I'm almost to the point of just saying, bring back Charlotte. You know, I'm almost at that point. I'm almost at the point of just saying, fuck it, we want Charlotte. I'm not getting back to the point of, I'm not getting so down bad that I want Sasha Banks back, but I'm getting kind of down bad with this women's division. Like, bro, even if you say Ronda is a bigger star than all of these chicks, she need people to play with. This roster is not it. It's just not. You know, it's been a good showcase of, you know, Shotzi and Liv and some of the underutilized women, but they're not being used properly, and it's just being fucking gauntlet matches and fatal 5-ways and stupid shit like that. Oh yeah, I forgot Carmella is missing too. Like, you know, so a lot of the mainstays of this roster is missing, and they should have replaced them by now. Fuck, it's been almost a year. Like, this roster has been this bad since SummerSlam. Since Vince did all the original cuts, it's been literally this bad since then. And Triple H brought back all these talents. He's done nothing to help SmackDown. Nothing. He could at least put Doudrop on SmackDown. He could at least, you know, pull some people from NXT and put them on SmackDown. I mean, would it really kill Indy Hartwell to be on SmackDown? You know? Form a stable of some women on SmackDown, for Christ's sake. You got Damage Control on Raw. Form a stable of some chicks on SmackDown or something. I don't know, man. It's awful. The SmackDown women's division, if it must exist, it should be better than this. Moving on, finally. Bray Wyatt cut a promo. Said the hardest thing for him to do is to confront everybody and come out there and talk and, you know, be open. Says that he's never going to get used to people being excited to see him. But then says that he tries to present the realest version of himself that he possibly can, but is not sure if there is any real version of him. But his real piece of business he came out there is that LA Knight owes him an apology. Because nobody really believed him when he said he wasn't Uncle Howdy. But he's not Uncle Howdy, and he never was. Then he started rambling about something. Then he kind of had a brain fart, so he lost his train of thought. Then he attacked one of the cameramen, which apparently there was 2 in the ring. And he put the cameraman in the mandible claw. Adam Pearce ran down to pull the cameraman free, and he then yelled at Bray Wyatt for what he'd done. And Bray Wyatt just kind of sat there, not quite moping, but in a bit of a trance. And they're showing that Bray Wyatt, you know, is on the edge. You know, he's stuck in a position where he's talked about making a change and being a different person and all that kind of stuff. But as per the usual with these kinds of gimmicks and characters, it's not working out. You know, his true nature keeps slipping out, and he has these little outbursts. So I'm guessing that's really what this is supposed to be, was just his true nature slipping out, as you know, as it does. But okay. Well, there's a lot of people who think that LA Knight is outshining Bray Wyatt, which is good. You know, I'm not going to even say that's a negative, because, you know, LA Knight is a guy who really needs to get over. Bray Wyatt's already over. You know, he can literally do stuff like this and people will be at least interested in what he's doing. The only people who are really interested in this are people who already like LA Knight. And now people are watching LA Knight because he's in a feud with Bray Wyatt. So it's good if you think that LA Knight is outperforming him. That's good. You know, because LA Knight is looking to get over here. You know, if they would have just had this match weeks ago, LA Knight would have lost and it would have just been over. But if you let LA Knight build some momentum and then he can actually get over, the match is a lot hotter. And that's a smarter way of doing things. And if that means LA Knight has to, quote unquote, outperform Bray, then great. I don't see a problem with that. Where's the issue with there? There's no issue. All right, moving on. Angel of Los Lotharios was defeated by Rey Mysterio in a match that disappointed the hell out of me. I expected a lot more from this match. Angel looked a little hesitant in certain spots. He also looked a little off. Maybe some ring rust. It was gone for a while. Los Lotharios, I think I'm not sure they were injured. I think their grandfather passed. And they were gone for over a month, I think. but they weren't on TV that much before then. So this match was actually built on Smackdown Lowdown, which I don't think anybody watches. You have to be, it's almost like collecting WWE stickers at this point. You have to actually know this show exists in order to watch it, in order to follow this. But unlike AEW, they actually showed clips. So Rey Mysterio was talking about how he's not listening to Cross. He's not going to take that Cross stuff laying down. And then Angel Garza, I'm surprised they haven't gone back to the Garza name, said that Cross was being kind and that Rey was past his prime. So, of course, this match was to prove the point. Rey looked good here. Angel should have looked better, I think. He did okay. He pulled a Samoa Joe in this match at one point and just kind of walked away from Rey's offense. I thought that was great. Angel also showing a little bit of an Eddie sneaky vibe when he got down on his knees to shake Rey's hand, ended up getting smacked in the face. The match itself was I definitely expected more, but it was fine, I guess. They certainly can do better. I really want more for Los Lotharios. I really like both of those guys, man. I really do. It's unfortunate that, they, even under the Triple H regimes, they can't seem to get anything done. All right, so during the Rey Mysterio Angel match, Karrion Kross was watching from the crowd, basically not really giving too much of approval to Rey. Basically, he was just responding to what Rey was doing, with smiles or head nods or whatever to see whether he was impressed by Rey or not. Which, of course, he was not in the end. So, it was very creepy. The fact that the crowd just paid him no attention was a little unnerving. But, hey, I guess they don't know who he is. It is what it is. Anyway, he's not on the show enough, probably. So, afterwards, they're backstage, Cross and Scarlett, and they're talking about Rey Mysterio and his progress, I guess you could say, or his lack thereof. At that point, Emma approaches Karrion Kross about Rey and Riddick. So they're going back to the name Riddick. They're getting rid of the Madcap, which is okay. That's fine. Apparently, she doesn't like the stuff they've been talking about when it comes to Rey, and she certainly doesn't like them talking about her beautiful baby boo Riddick. So she said that they called Riddick a clown or something like that. To which Scarlett says, no, I called him a fool. And then she got slapped hard. That Emma slap on Scarlett was hard. Cross ended up holding back Scarlett, who wanted to tear Emma apart. Then he told Emma she has no idea what she just started. So Scarlett's going to wrestle. That's kind of what this division needs. But Scarlett isn't, an elite wrestler. She's kind of mid in terms. She's a great looking girl. I'm not so sure she's going to move very well. But we'll see. They've been doing this match on the house shows. They've been doing the mixed tag match on the house shows. So maybe they've worked out some kinks. Scarlett, I've seen Scarlett wrestle before in Impact. I saw her wrestle in MLW. I saw her wrestle in AAA. Again, she's not that great. She's not awful either. But it's just another person in this division. And unless they let Scarlett do stuff, I just don't see how she can add too much to the division. She's just going to wrestle occasionally. But it looks like she's going to have more matches than Zelina Vega. So, it is what it is. The feud with Emma and Riddick. Okay, they're going to have Cross feuding at 2 points. He's going to be feuding, with a near main event guy in Rey Mysterio, and then also feuding with a lower mid card guy in Riddick Moss. I don't know, brother. You got to make up your mind. You got to situate this guy a little bit better than this. I'm guessing this is going to be more of a Scarlett feud because they're going to have Scarlett and Emma. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm interested in Scarlett wrestling in WWE. I'm very interested in that. All right, they showed a John Cena celebration package. It was very dope. They do those very well. I don't understand why they don't do more of them for other guys, but I know people are very in their feelings because John Cena keeps getting called the greatest of all time, but it's like I don't pay that stuff no attention. I literally don't focus on that at all. It's not. It doesn't offend me. It's not like it's going to be an official company position. Like, like it's an official company position that John Cena is the greatest wrestler ever. Then I would probably say, wait a minute. But until then, I'm just going to be like, well, they had the greatest wrestling match ever already, right? And it was like a 4-star match. And they didn't even rate it the best match of the year. It was that humorous. All right, so Lacey Evans. She's in a fight pit, like an octagon, fighting. And she's also doing boxing and mixed martial arts and various things as they are getting ready to reboot her again. She'll be back next week. So I'm guessing she's probably going to probably either beat a jobber or maybe she'll get involved with that women's championship match. But her new slogan is wake up, work, and win. So she's going to get the 3 W's to go with the Kurt Angle's 3 eyes. And her goal is to destroy all of the women in the SmackDown women's division. Well, that ought to be simple because, I mean, it pretty much happens at least once a month where all the women get together and you get smashed in one match. When it doesn't involve, tequila or penises. But they get smashed nonetheless. But that was SmackDown. This show sucked. It was an awful show. The sliver of hope that I had for Rey and Angel was snuffed out because it wasn't given any time. They also didn't build to it. And it was just kind of a flat finish. So, whatever. The women's gauntlet ate up a lot of time. It ate up a lot of time. But that Miracle on 34th Street fight, man, that made me want to just pull my own iris out. I just want to self-harm. Just rip my eyebrows off. I cannot stand that kind of shit. I understand why people skip holiday episodes. It's like a holiday episode of a bad TV show. Because that's kind of what it is. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for your time. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.